Hello, it's Tamika Schilbe. I heard a rumor about myself and I was shocked because this person doesn't know anything about my day-to-day life. They may have known one piece of my life some moons ago, but they don't know anything about my current life. I was hurt, I was questioning, I was angsty, I wanted to lash out, I was confused, I had all these really upset feelings. And then I had to stop and say, am I going to go to this person and say something? Because this is what I would do if they were a close friend or even someone that I needed to be in contact with again through work or some other avenue. I would have worked that out with that person or attempted to. But in this case, that person, I don't have that person in my life. They're far removed. And so in this case, I chose not to do that. So I had to work this out with myself, within myself. And what I had to do was first feel the feelings, because we don't want to skip over that stage. If you get angry or defensive or upset or sad or hurt or wounded, or how could you, why me, whatever you go through, we have to go through those feelings, and that's what I did too. But then I had to stop and take stock and ask myself, have I ever judged someone based on appearances or based on some assumption or based on something that I've just made up in my head? And the answer is yes, I have done that. I have done that before. So in that moment, I was able to find a softening and say, I get it. I get it. The human condition is prone to judgment because things aren't perfect as much as we think they should be somehow. Our lives aren't perfect, and others' lives aren't perfect. So we end up going into this cycle of judgment. And Brené Brown educates us on shame so beautifully. And her message is that the research is clear. When we judge others, we pick someone who we perceive as weaker than us in an area that we feel shame around. So it's some kind of way inside of us to try to relieve our own shame when we're judging to others. So when I reminded myself of that, I softened. Like my shoulders relaxed, my whole body softened. And knowing that I've done that too, I could join with this person and say, yeah, you are me, I am you, we are one. And there was a coming together in that moment with this person. Now, I don't mean that I would go and speak to that person or hang out with that person. It's not that. They're not an important person in my life. That doesn't mean that they aren't an important human in their own right. That's not what I mean at all. But there was a moment there where energetically, and I think that's even more powerful than anything, the energetics, we joined together over this negative thing. And it felt so good. Because the last thing personally I want is my energy, my vital life force energy, to be sending out barbed wire to others. I don't want that prickly negative energy shooting out at people. And I have to protect that in myself. And so if you've ever had this situation where you're like, yeah, I have prickly barbed wire energy going out to this person or this person, at some point we have to say, if we're doing that constantly, it's not good for them. It's actually not good for us. It's not good for anyone around us because they also have to deal with the consequences of that. So we have to, at some stage, either come to a reconciliation. If you have someone in your life that you're judging a lot, you have to come to a reconciliation and drop the judgment and find a way to do that and still be authentic, or step away. And that's a hard choice to make sometimes. So if you've had judgment directed at you, what area has it been in? Is it something that's been hurtful to you? Maybe there's a personality trait that you haven't been able to shake. Like maybe it's anger, or maybe it's you cry all the time, or maybe it's a parenting thing that you feel really shamed about, or maybe it's your relationship history, or maybe it's something going on in your family. Those other people do not know what it's like to be in your life. They don't know that. And so take any judgments that get thrown your way. Stand in your mountain and stand in your truth. And know that you're perfectly imperfect. It's a glorious imperfection. And claim it. as best you can, claim it. You were created in the light of the Creator. You were created in an image of this oneness, whatever this is, this galactic heart. You were created uniquely you. And it was never written that it was supposed to be perfect. It was never written that way. That was just a story we told ourselves. And that story is ending. So I love you guys. I would love to hear if you've had any experiences with this yourself. Leave me a note in the comments below, or let me know if it was helpful, if it was something that spoke to you. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon.